Welcome back to Cooking with Thatown2. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you'd like to know whenever new content is available, please hit that notification bell. Today we're making beef and cheese empanadas. We started out with our pan and we put on our ground beef and added some salt and pepper to it. We then mixed up our ground beef. We added our seasonings to it: chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, and some coriander. Then we continued to cook and brown our meat. Once the meat was done, it was time to work on our dough. We started out with some cream cheese and added some mozzarella cheese. We put that in the oven to cook, we put that in the microwave to heat up for about 30 to 45 seconds to melt the cheese. And then we added half of our almond flour. We didn't want to add the whole thing in because it would basically be too hard to mix, so we added half of the flour at a time, mixed that up, then added the second half, and continued to mix the almond flour together. My son wanted to help out and mix up our eggs, so I let him get in and help out a bit. We then took our egg mixture and added it to our dough. We also added some garlic powder and baking powder to that, and then continued to mix it up. Once our dough ball became solid and then no more loose almond flour crumbles, we then started to work on our wax paper. Sprayed it with some oil so that the dough would not stick to it, and started to roll it out. We're no longer team no rolling pin over here. My wife decided to get me a rolling pin so that we didn't have to use any more bottles or anything. We then used a cookie cutter to cut out some circles. After we got as many as we could, we rolled it back into a ball to get the remaining empanada balls out. It started to stick to the rolling pin a bit, so we had to edit that part. It was then time to make our empanadas. We added our ground beef and cheese. To these, we basically added ground beef, cheese, and some jalapenos. You can technically add anything you want: tomatoes, onions, salsa, breakfast ones, eggs, bacon. You can put anything you want in these empanadas. We then started to roll our empanadas, flip them over. I kind of overfilled these a bit, and they started to break some, but luckily we had some extra dough on the side, so we were able to basically just pull some pieces off and patch the holes out so they didn't just fall apart while baking. We then took a fork and crimped the edges so that the filling wouldn't fall out, and used the remaining eggs, the remaining egg wash to top half of the eggs off so that they were brown. And this was our product before we placed it in the oven. We placed this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we put it in for another minute to brown the tops half. And this was our final product. These came out great. They didn't have any almond flour taste or anything, which normally happens with anything made with almond flour. And I would definitely use this recipe again for the dough to make pizza or calzone or anything else. Hope you guys try this recipe out. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Enjoy, and please subscribe. Enjoy.